before extending credit. When they do, perhaps less than they would have in the past. So that's really driving that improvement. So, overall, we think it's a marginal improvement, but nothing substantial. And given where we see the stress in the future, we're very concerned about where that may be going.
And much of that speaks to the amount of disposable income in a household. So if you look at the survey in particular, what you call cash flow, it was 2.6% year-on-year in the first quarter, 1.6% in the second quarter. Just take us through what's significant about that.
Yeah, basically what it means is wage growth is flat. And with inflation between 4% and 6%, that means consumers are actually going backwards in terms of money in their wallet. Yeah. And we see it only getting worse. So petrol price is going to help a bit. Obviously, we saw that. But we think inflation is going to tip up. The rand is weakening. The interest rate increases just happened last week. We just heard today earlier around the job cuts in the mining sector, all of this points to lower disposable income for consumers in the future.
Let's just focus in on one of those components here, the weakening rand. We had a lengthy discussion about this earlier. Some say possibly hitting 13 rand to the US dollar soon. And I suppose, there you go, it's that talk about the risk of inflation again. That doesn't bode well for households, does it?
No, absolutely not. And the question is, where does it stop? The U.S. is going to probably start raising interest rates, and that's going to cause some capital flight, which would unfortunately depreciate the rand even further. And I think that's what the central bank is, and the Reserve Bank is looking at quite closely, is balancing the fact between low growth, but not wanting the rand to depreciate and really cause inflation to exacerbate.
Does the survey suggest anything about how responsible we are, South Africans, with regards to credit? We hear this very, very often, and very often it boils down to how we're managing that. Have we become more responsible of late?
I think we have. I think consumers are much more worried about the state of the economy and the state of their personal finances. So I think they're being a little bit more diligent before getting credit. But overall awareness around credit and credit repayment is quite low. So we're obligated to provide a free report to every consumer in South Africa once a year. And there's 20 million credit active South Africans. We get about 300,000 requests per year. So really, credit awareness and understanding of debt obligations, we think there's a long way to go there.
Yeah, and it's going to need to be done. Well, thanks very much indeed. Geoff Miller from TransUnion, thanks indeed for your time. Well, Egypt prepares to officially open the new Suez Canal. We'll have more on the story after the break. Do stay with us. Since 2010, tourism has become the third largest contributor to economic growth in South Africa. But new visa regulations are putting the brakes on tourist arrivals. Just how damaging are the new laws, and can they be more flexible? Catch the news at 1 this Friday as we explore the future of tourism in South Africa.